Okay. So I want to start with the concept of Power BI, the tool, and what does that BI stands for? In the name Power BI, what does it BI stands for? It stands for Business Intelligence. Now, how do you define business intelligence? What is business intelligence as per you guys? Because before learning the tool, before learning how to work on the tool, you should be knowing how the tool functions. What will be the purpose? Once you learn the tool, what you will work on? Again, why you are getting into data analytics? If you get into data analytics, what you'll be working on a day by day basis. Don't you think it is very important to know what is the big picture before you get into the tool? Basically, to discuss on as a data analytics consultant, what I work on a day to day basis, how I work on the tool on a day to day basis. That is very important. So, in next 20 to 30 minutes, we'll be discussing about the business intelligence process. What are the various stages involved? What are the various tools involved? And what role does Power BI play there? That will give you a clear idea not only about the tool, but it will give you clarity about your career also. How you should prepare, how you should think your job will look like. Isn't it everyone interested to know that first? So we'll be having that discussion first and then we'll get into the tool. Okay. Now, so some people say that it's extraction. Some people say that it's visualization. Being in the industry for 14 years, working on BI day in and day out, how would I define it? How I see what business intelligence is? Okay, let's do that with an activity, a small activity. Forget about business intelligence, but forget about data analytics, forget about everything. Now, I just want you to help me doing a task. What is a task? The task given to me is purchase a smartphone. So, guys, whenever you want to purchase a smartphone, which everyone have nowadays, there is hardly anyone who does not have a hard smartphone in today's world. If you want to purchase a smartphone, how many of us just go to a shop? There are three, four options in the shelf there in the shopkeeper's shop, and then you just take one phone and then you give money and you come back. How many of us do this? No, except you are purchasing an iPhone, because iPhone is like people don't even go and see. Just 2 minutes it will take for them. Just take it and come back because there is nothing to see. Correct. But whenever you want to purchase a smartphone, you spend a lot of time on what? Defining the requirements, doing some research in the internet, many things, right? So what you do? First, you set up the requirements. So let's define a workflow. Hmm? Let's now define a workflow to purchase a smartphone. Now, first you set the requirements. The requirements are, for some people, it's camera who is interested in photography. For some people, it's processor, and some person it's RAM who is interested in gaming. For some person, it's for battery. Some people it's brand. Some people it's price. There are a number of considerations that you do. Correct? Many other requirements. With that requirements, you start your research. First, you have that requirement in your mind. Then you start your research. What do you search? I first go to first source of research for me nowadays is YouTube. YouTube videos. Nowadays, every second person has become a reviewer, right? Every second person. Just to see the comparison, there are hundreds of videos available. Now, from that also, you see only the person who have good credibility, correct? Who are genuine. You'll not see everyone's video. To get a review of the video, review of the phones and comparison. That is not enough. That is not enough. You go to various websites. You go to Amazon, you go to Flipkart, you go to here in the States, it's Walmart, you go to Costco. There are many websites or stores that you go and check for the hands on experience. You check for the offers, you check for the discounts, and also you can compare the specifications there. We do that, right? And we wait for offer days also. Correct. We do that. Next, not only that, you also talk to your family and friends. If they are using that phone, you'll try to get their inputs also, right? You talk to your brother, you talk to your siblings, you talk to your family member just to get their experience. Last but not the least, one more area that you discover is yourself. What is yourself? My previous experience, correct? Currently, I'm using a Samsung Android phone as well as an iPhone, both. Now, if I plan to get a new phone, then definitely I will know what are pros and cons of these phones before I go and purchase that. Correct? I go and do all this research. Next what? And now just I will draw a flow diagram in which every human brain thinks. I'm drawing a flow diagram in which every human brain thinks, guys. Just look. When you read, when you see, when you talk, what your human brain is doing internally, when you see, when you read, when you talk, your human brain is actually consuming or collecting the data. Correct? Data, right? See, videos also is data. Amazon information also is data. When you talk to someone, that is also data. Now, whenever you talk, see, or listen, you are actually collecting that information. Now, my human brain, after collecting that information, it always keep only the information which it believe is correct and legit. Correct? Like some of us, they will listen from one side and they'll forget another side. Why? Because they think that information is not valid for them. But whenever you hear some information which you think is really important or valid as per your understanding, you will listen it clearly. Okay, guys? That's a human nature, right? For every person, for every person, the information that you store and the information that you leave from the other side of the brain is different. So our human brain, whenever it has a lot of information, it tries to combine and clean that information. Then what I do after that? Once I combine and clean that information, I will store the information where? In my human brain. My human brain is a storage place also, right? Not only to process, but also it can store the information. For how long? That's every person's individual capacity, which is different from each other. Correct? Some people can store it for longer duration. Some people can store it for shorter duration. So once you store that information in your human brain, then what I do? I just go somewhere, sit quietly in some place, and I will start to analyze what information I have collected, what information do I have, whether it's sufficient or what, whether it's helping me to decide or no which phone I should purchase, and then finally I will make a decision. Yes, now I can purchase the mobile phone. Correct, guys? If I decode the process that my human brain is doing, the flow diagram will look like this only. We have never thought that till today to put that in the diagram. But if you are asked to put a diagram on the flow chart on how we human make decisions to purchase a pin to a home, for everything do we do this? The intensity will differ how much amount you are differing. If, for example, I ask you to spend 100 rupees, you'll not even think for few seconds, you'll spend it. If I ask you to spend 10,000 rupees, now that is where you'll think 1 or 2 days whether it's really worth or not. If I asked you to spend 1 lakh rupees, you will plan it 2 3 months before. 10 lakh rupees, it's a decision of a life for the people. Correct? That means the amount involved in the purchase will decide with what intensity and what time you will be spending on this process. Correct? And why do we do this? Why a human brain, or why I do this process? Why do I do this? To get the best product, to not waste my money. Correct? That means you are saying that if I follow this process, then the chances are more that I will take a better decision compared to a person who does not follow this process. And it's a personal choice whether you want to follow that process or we don't want to follow that process. Now, when you yourself to purchase any product which involves money or time, because time is money, which involves time, money, and efforts, you do so much of analysis before you decide. Then think about the companies who which are spending millions and billions of dollars every year to bring a product to the market, bring some services to the market. Are they doing it without needing profit or without looking for any profit? Even businesses wants to make best of their products, best of their services that they provide. In order to get the best result, they have to launch a really good product, really good service to make profit. Correct? That means even businesses have to make decisions every day, every hour, every minute. It could be in any manner. Different businesses will take different decisions. Different business models have different decisions to take. How do they take decisions? Is it only the people sitting on the highest position in the company they will guide? Okay, do this, do that, do that. Just the highest level people, company's opinion matters there, or what they are trying to do nowadays. Everyone is trying to make data driven decisions, correct? Before they take any decisions, they want to take a look what data says. Every company is doing that nowadays. When I say take a look at what data says, understand what my company has done in the past, understand how my company has performed in the past. That will definitely help me understand what had happened in the past. Based on that, what decisions I should take now. How do they do this entire process? Even companies follow the same process as I did just now on the diagram. Arif, yes? How? Companies have various systems to run their business. Companies have various systems to run their business, which we call them as operational systems. In short, you have heard about the term called OLTP systems. Have you heard about the term OLTP systems? The systems which are used to run the business. Arif, which are those systems? A system could be a web application. Example, Amazon, how do they do the business? A software, a website through which people will do an ordering. And that web application is backed by a SQL server to store that information. Whenever a transaction happens, it gets recorded there. Another internal systems would be an ERP system, which is nothing but SAP systems, which records every financial transaction in the company. Next, it could be various employee salary, which could be recorded in Excel, CSVs, SAP systems, SAP. Just ignore that. If you don't have any idea about that, it's just think it's a system which is used to run the business. Hmm? What is that system? What is that doing? That's not the interest. The interest is there are various systems which a company used to run their day-to-day business. And these systems will differ from business type to business type. And not only that, people will have companies will have various web sources where they get the market research data from their competitors and many other areas. People who have experience in the industry, correct? Have you seen one or more of these systems in the companies you work? Where you have various web applications which we use to collect the informations, which people enter the data in the system. If you are from financial background, no doubt that you have used SAP in your career. Many people here store the data in Excel CSVs. These are all used to run the business. Now, with this information, what I do to take the decision making for long term strategic decisions, I collect this information. Basically, I pass this information through a engine which is called ETL engine. I will pass this information through a process called extract, transform, and load. Guys, what am I doing? When I say extract, I'm collecting the information from various sources. Transform means I am removing the unwanted information. I am shaping the data and I'm combining the data from various sources. Once I do that, I will store that information in some place. And that place name is data warehouse is a name, but internally it's a database only. And some people call it as a data cloud or data lake, which is having capability to store huge amount of data. Correct? Database. It's a database only. Database on local machine, on-premises database on the cloud like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, many other cloud providers are there. If you are storing there, then it is cloud-based. And then what are the tools which are used here? Which are the popular tools which do ETL? Talent, Informatica, Python, SQL, many other tools are there in the industry. Many other tools are there in the industry which does specific ETL operations, whose job is to pull the data from operational systems, combine, transform, clean, and then store that into a place called data warehouse. Once you have the data stored in the data warehouse, then how will you read that? How will you show that to the management? You help analysis with the help of visualization. And when I say visualization, it be Power BI, it could be Tableau, it could be Click, it could be SQL, it could be Python. And then you will develop this dashboard and share that with your managers, stakeholders, especially the business experts who are deriving the business decisions. Did I change the diagram? Or I just gave a different perspective to the blocks? I just gave a different perspective to the block. That means business intelligence is not a rocket science. It's the process, it's a methodology that my ancestors are doing from hundreds and hundreds of years before. Businesses are using the same method to take their decisions also with the help of technology, with the help of tools, with the help of softwares. Can you help understand this with an example, very quick example, how these various steps are executed? That will give us more clarity. I am clear with the diagram, but a quick example would be helpful. Are you thinking that? How this is actually incorporated? Before that, I would like to draw three fundamental blocks here in this process. First block is from here to here. Second block is from here to here. Third block is from here to here. So what are you trying to do? Why you have drawn three diagrams, breaking this entire process, and the blocks are overlapping over each other. Are you seeing that? The blocks are overlapping over each other. So what are these? So these are the different people in this process involved to implement. The person who is having the roles related to the pink box, he is a business analyst. The people who involved in the blue box, he is a data analyst. And the person who is involved in this brown box, he is a data engineer. Now, all these times, many of us were getting confused, right? And if we are hearing this term business analyst, data engineer, but we think they are doing the same job. We don't see any differences in their jobs. How many of us were confused till this date? At least I was confused when I started the career. Correct? Now you got clarity. If I become a data engineer, what are the tools? What are the skills that I need? If I want to become a data analyst, what are the tools? What are the skill sets that I need? If I want to become a business analyst, what are the tools and what are the skill sets that I need? Correct? Now let's do a small test of this workflow. Suppose, friends, let's take a small test of this workflow, whether this workflow is correct or not. Now, people in every company, the decisions come from top management, right? The decisions come from policies come from top management always. Now, people like CEO, executives, directors, they meet and they decide that next 3 years, I want to target 10% profit increase. Yes, they decided it. Seeing the industry, seeing the standards in the industry, they have decided it. Okay. But do they just decide and go and sleep, or they have discussions with the business experts of various departments in your company, and then they talk to them and they define which are the areas that we have to work on in order to reach there? Correct, right? So they will decide various factors, which I call them as a KPIs, which KPIs I should improvise, which KPIs I should increase. Like if it is a sales background, then acquire new customers, then reduce production cost, correct? Improve marketing, many other things, correct? Many other things will be involved in order to reach that 10% increase in the profit goal. Many areas I have to work on. Key performance indicators. Hmm? It's a business term we use to define some goals. Key performance indicator. Now, with this, having defined now which metrics or which areas I have to work on, will the company's MDs or high level people, they decided today, and after 3 years they come back to evaluate that where we stand, or they want some tools when they implement some changes in the policies, that they want to track every month after this information is captured, this information is getting in data warehouse. So the people called business analyst, they come with the requirements to data analyst. First step, they talk to data analyst, they explain data analyst that these are the metrics that I want to monitor, track on a daily basis, weekly basis, or a monthly basis. Then the data analyst is the person who will translate the non technical words of a business analyst to technical words, and then he will go to the data warehouse. He will pull the relevant information from the data warehouse, then transform that into a nice, attractive dashboards which my management can understand. Then he will deliver it to the business analyst who can read that and can explain to the management. That's how we get requirement, that's how we develop, and that's how we deliver in any domain, not only in data analytics, in every domain. Now suppose if some area of the information is not available in data warehouse, which is related to some improve marketing, I don't have the relevant information here. But if I don't have the relevant information here, definitely I may be capturing that somewhere, right? Definitely I may be capturing it somewhere. Then what data analyst will do? Data analyst will activate data engineer to bring that information from the OLTP systems to the data warehouse. And once the information is there, then again he will develop the dashboard and deliver it. That's how data engineer has its own responsibilities, data analyst has its own responsibilities, and business analyst has its own responsibilities in implementing business intelligence infrastructure for a company. Now, many people might have got a lot of clarity in what business intelligence is, what I work on a day to day basis. Correct. And Power BI is a tool which will help to fetch the information from various sources, transform that into attractive visuals, share that with the users. We don't care what business intelligence person is do, what is BI engineer. We want to know what data scientists do, because we know that he is the hot cake in the market currently. Correct? Everyone is interested to know what data scientists do, because I don't care what BI person do, what data engineer do. I want to directly hit data scientist. You'll see that. Now, get into a discussion where we define this process as a business analyst. Okay, now I want to ask a really very basic question. Now, what we are doing here, we get a clear requirements from the business. We want to this see this chart, we want to see this information there. So we are not asked to give the choices until and unless you are having a big experience in the company. You have seen companies for more than a decade, you are not asked to give answers in there. Why is the data analyst is involved decision? Because it is added there because in order to build the charts properly, your data analyst should be knowing the business first. If you are asked to build a dashboard for hospital management, can you build a dashboard which looks like a school management? No, right? That means in order to build any solution, you should know the business, what decisions they are trying to make. Correct? If you don't know what decisions they are trying to make, then you can't build the visuals, which will they like. Now, very basic question again. Suppose what am I doing in this process? I am taking the data of past, seeing the information on the charts, and then deciding what decisions I should take now. Correct? Am I doing that? Am I taking decisions based on the past history? And that is what we call, what name do we give for that type of analysis? Descriptive. I'm describing what happened. Now, coming back to the same example of purchasing a mobile phone. Coming back to the same example, purchasing a mobile phone. Before purchasing a mobile phone, if someone get to know that this mobile will work properly only for 1.5 year or 2 years, will that affect your decision making? If before purchasing a mobile phone, if I get to know that price of this product will change in the future, will that affect your decision making? But who will tell that to you? Who will tell that to you? No one. That's the trickiest part in decision making. But our nature has answer for it. Everyone have learned algebra in the schools where we used to draw the diagrams, where we have x-axis and y-axis, and x-axis represent time, and this will say distance. And if I plot a diagram of time versus distance, what I travel, I started the distance from my home. I was at the shop at 1 kilometer, and I started from the shop to go to the school. At 1 minute, I am going 1 kilometer, and 2 minutes, I'm going 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers. 3 minutes, I'm going 3 kilometers. Fourth minute, I'm going fourth kilometer. Now, can you tell at fifth? Okay, we have learned drawing this time versus distance. Now, if I know that at the fourth minute I'll be in this position, will it be okay if I extend this line to tell in future where will I be or where I was in intermediate time? Because this line has a formula y equals mx plus c, correct? Where m is slope and c is the coefficient. Everyone remember this? In school, we might have done. Nowadays, it's being taught in the school, but in earlier days, it was like in the college. But everyone at some part of your career in education, you have seen this kind of expression. The expression could be simple as this, or the expression could be x square, x cube, x to the 4, correct? Based on the nature of the line, the formula would get very difficult to write and solve. Basically, what I'm trying to do here, if you closely see this formula, what am I trying to do here, guys? If I know a particular x and y values for some points on the graph, then based on that trend, I can predict the future and the past values also. That was the whole and sole purpose of algebra, to define formula, to define general expressions. And now, in today's world, we call it as a model. To be specific, we call it as a machine learning model. How do you implement this, Arif? You have the data in the data warehouse. I pull the data from the data warehouse out, and on that data, I implement various types of machine learning algorithms using Python, using R. Either it could be your regression model, it could be your classification model, it could be any kind of model. You have n number of different models available, correct? Linear, logistic, k-means clustering, many different models are there which will help me to predict the outcome. That is what we do there. And who does this? This is done by data scientist. Does this give you the clarity? Where does the data scientist fit here? So in order to reach here, the data scientist should be knowing business intelligence first. He should be knowing how the business works first. He should be knowing what are the various sources information that is available in data warehouse first. Then on top of that, once the business intelligence infrastructure is solid and strong in the company, then only data science can be implemented. You cannot implement data science directly on the operational source. Now, people who have less experience in the industry, they may argue it, or if you can do it, but trust me, when you mature in the company, when you understand how your business works, then you'll realize that to reach data science, it's a journey where first you have to improvise your BI process, then only you can go to data science or generative AI kind of things. Friends, did that give you clarity again? Where does data scientist fit here? That is the reason we say data scientist is not just about Python. People think that it's just about Python. Data science is about SQL. Data science is about programming language. Data science is about databases. Data science is about visualization. There are many things. Correct. It's good, right? That you can see entire picture of a data analytics career just on the screen. Now that gives you a lot of clarity. Or if which tools are important. Now, many times you might have been told or you might have seen that learn Power BI, you'll become a data analyst. Learn just Python, you'll become a data scientist. Is that really true in the industry? And also, that doesn't mean that you have to learn everything that you see here. Understand which role I want to get into. Okay. If I want to, I'm really passionate about data cleaning. I'm really passionate about integrations. That then SQL, Python is your part. In Python also NumPy, Pandas. Then if your job is a data analyst, then you should be knowing for sure SQL. You should be knowing Power BI. You should be knowing basics of Python. Because in case if you are asked to write some Python codes, if you want to become a data scientist, then in-depth knowledge of Python, in-depth knowledge of machine learning, SQL, and everything. So Power BI is just a stepping stone for you to get into data analytics world. Everyone, come to this browser, search for Power BI desktop download. That's it. Now, here is an option called download. You can click on advanced download options and hit download. It will ask you this 64-bit. Okay. Now, as you install any mobile application, just go ahead and install Power BI desktop also. Once you install it, you should be able to see a screen like this that you'll see on my screen now. Okay. You should be seeing the screen like my. Now, what analysis that I want to do here? I have various tables in that Excel file, which is sales, which is customer, you have people, and you have return. Now, by connecting all these data sources, you will see a data model that you will see how we'll create that in Power BI. Now, what are some analysis that you can do from this data set? I can definitely analyze sales by time, which could be sales by year, sales by month, sales by quarter, production cost, profit, percentage of profit, year over year analysis, month over month analysis. That means time based every analysis that I can do that will help my business know across the board, across the time, how my sales is varying. That will help me understand during what part of the year my sales is better and during what part of the year my sales needs to be improved. Definitely, that is a point where my business should take some decisions. Yes, Arif, that's nice. We can do that time based analysis. Customers. Which are the customers which are giving me sales regularly? Which are the customers who are not giving me enough sales? Which are the products which are being sold more compared to the others? Which country I'm getting more demand? Which country I'm not getting the more demand? So all these insights, if I can build, then definitely my business owners, they can go back and work where my company is lacking. Do you agree with this? So that's the whole idea about these sessions, where we'll be using the data set of global superstore, and we'll be doing a lot of data transformations. We will be doing data cleaning. We'll be doing visualizations, and then delivering that to the end user in a presentable manner to be consumed for their decision making. Please make a note of this. Okay, guys. So now we know the destination, we have the vehicle ready, and we have the fuel. So let's start the journey. Fantastic. Okay, now if I click on new report here, see, if I click on new report here, the window will change. You'll see a window like this. Everyone, are you seeing the same window? If you just click on new, perfect. Now, if I ask you to break this BI process, guys, if I ask you to break this BI process into three different segments, what would be those segment look like? First one would be data collection, data collection or model. Second would be data transformation or sorting or cleaning. Third one would be the visualization and sharing. Correct? Will these be three major segment of this entire diagram? Data collection, data model, data transformation, and visualization. Come to Power BI. The same steps I have written here. But Arif, I always write 1, 2, 3 from bottom to top to bottom. Why you have written from bottom to top? There is a separate menu given for every step. That's the reason I have written from bottom to up. Can you see those icons also? There is one more icon, DAX, which has been recently introduced. You the possibilities of Power BI. I'll show you the possibilities of Power BI. If you see here, I keep on scrolling down, 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 down. The data source connections are not coming to an end. Yes, guys, these are the various data sources that I can connect. As Power BI is a BI tool, if you see in the diagram, operation system. Operation system can be anything, right? Operation system could be an web data, it could be Excel file, it could be CSV file. That means an ideal BI tool should be able to connect to as many as data sources which are available in the real world. And that is what Power BI is trying to do. Power BI is trying to help with so many different types of data connectivity options. That's nice. You have to pick one from this. Now, people will say, Arif, I have a server. Okay, go ahead. You have SQL server, you have Oracle server, you have IBM server, you have MySQL server, you have Postgres server, you have SAP server, you have Teradata. You have so many different servers which are available. In our session also, you'll be learning how to connect to servers. Then files. You have Excel file, you have CSV file, you have JSON file, SharePoint folder file. You have many things. Some web services. You have data from web services also. Can get. But where is our data currently? Microsoft Excel. My Excel workbook. I'll click on that. It will ask me, Arif, tell me where is your file? Your file is in this folder. It will not do live data, but you can get the data from APIs and you can store that here. Next, I'll select the file and I will click on open. So you should be getting the interface like mine. Okay. Now, this is an interface where you are given an option to check whether your data is in right shape or room. If I click on orders table, I see initial glance of the data that it is in right shape. Headers are populating correctly. If I move towards right, all the headers are populated correctly, and I see the data also looks good initial glance. Similarly, I'll check for customer table. The data looks good at the initial glance, but do you see the people table data looks good on the initial glance? Headers are incorrect. Correct? Headers are not populated correctly. Column names are treated here below as a data point. Column names are treated as a data rows. Rather than showing that as a column name, it is showing as a data row, which is incorrect. So now I will not load these tables now. If this is a scenario, you have to click on transform data. It will open Power Query for me, which we will be exploring in future sessions. Okay. But for the orders table and customer table, I need not click on Power Query. I can just click on load data because I see the data shape is good. Data is in the good shape. Though, then I need not go to Power Query here. I can just go to load and load that in Power BI. I'll select only one table. Don't select multiple tables. I have selected only one table for now because what analysis I want to do is all information is available in one table. I'll select the orders table and click on load. Now what that is doing, it is pulling all the lines of the Excel file and it is loading that into one table and showing that into Power BI for me. Click on load, only one table, orders. So I have successfully imported all the records from that table into Power BI. It's so simple. Arif, connecting to the source and bringing that into Power BI, it's so simple. I did that. It's not a warning. Ignore it. Now it is showing. Now is it showing the warning? No, right? So don't worry about it. It has a different purpose. Whenever you do some transformation in Power Query and then move to Power BI, at that time that comes. Initially that will show. So you need not worry. So this is the way that I import a data table. I'll come to that point. Why summation? Why blank? You will see that now. Now, this is my table. And on the right hand side, properties will be there about this table. If I click on this, it will show me various properties of this table. Okay, what is the name of the table? If you want to give some description for the table, you can give it. You want to hide the table, you can hide it. Now, all these columns, you can see here on the right hand side, if you expand this, like, see, I'm expanding that table. Now I will see all the columns available in this table on the right hand side. And now people are asking that, Arif, why some places it is summation, some places it is blank, and some places it is a different symbol? Why? It's the data type. What kind of data is there in that specific column? You don't worry about it. You have to select the table, then it will show. You are not in the first step. Those who are not seeing this data model, they are in the wrong step. You should be in this step only to see this table and to see this interface. So you have to select this table, then you will see properties. Without selecting the tables, you will not see properties. Once you select the table and then expand this icon here, you will see all the columns and you will see the data type. What do you mean by data type? What do you mean by data type? In data, type of data. It could be character data, it could be number data, it could be date data, it could be binary data. Okay. I'm not going to deal with that row label option. You can ignore that. What is important? We will see that. You will see all those things in future. But what is important for now is this. Okay. Now, step one is this much only. We'll be bringing in more tables here. Like we'll bring customer table, we'll bring people table, we'll be importing that. But for now, we need only this table. Because why? Because I want to do time-based analysis. And all my time-based columns are available here. Order date is here, sales is here, profit is here, quantity is here. To do time-based analysis, I have my date field also, and I have my metric fields also. So I'm good with that now for now. Next is what? Next step is what? Second step, go and check whether my data is in right shape and right data is available or no. Now transform clean. Now people will ask here, Arif, how do I understand if your data is clean? What do you mean by data cleaning? How can I say my data is clean and it does not need any transformation? What do you mean by transformation? Transformation means adding a new column, removing a column from the table, changing the data type, changing the format, calculating the null values, all those things. Correct? Null values, duplicate records, all those things will be there. Now, there might be scenario where your data is already clean. Guys, there can be, right? There can be situations where data is already clean. Some cases, the data is not clean. Some cases, the data might be already cleaned. At least the columns which I want to analyze, those are clean. Example, order date, I can see it's in date format. See, as soon as I click the header, as soon as I click on the header, the column tools menu updated on the top. It is now showing the data type, which I can see from here. I can see the format. I can see the column name and other aspects of that particular column. I see this column is in right shape. Then I see my sales is in right shape. I see my quantity is in right shape. I can see my profit, discount, shipping cost is in right shape. Now people will say, Arif, your pin code, postal code. Arif, see, postal code is null. Some values are null and some values are not null. That is not in clean. But do I really care at this point of time? Do I really care about postal code at this point of time? Because I want to do time-based analysis. So that means data is never clean. Write a note of this. Data is never completely clean. Data is always just clean enough. Arif, does it make statement make sense? You might be thinking now. I'll repeat my statement one more time. Data is not completely clean, is never completely clean. It is just always clean enough to analyze required information. As per the need, we can clean whenever you want. For now, what I want to analyze, the information is already there. Then do I really need to worry about data cleaning at this point of time? If the information which I require is already there, but any point of time, I can come back and do data cleaning for sure. Hmm? So now there are two ways to do data cleaning. I'll tell you. One is using DAX, data analysis expressions, and another is Power Query. One is graphical method and one is a expression method, coding method. DAX is definitely a expression method, functional language it is, where you write your formulas by yourself. Power Query is where you can do graphical method. You can remove the columns. I'll show you that now. Hmm? How you can remove the columns and how you can add new columns, that will be seen. For example, some data which is not relevant to my analysis, then people will say, why should I keep that in my table? At the time you can remove. So now what initial checks you can do on your data set is you can check your data type. For example, this row ID, it's a number now. If you think the row ID should be a character, select the column, drop down, and you can change this data type to any of these data type. It's whole number now. I can change it to text also. It has changed the data type. See, it has changed the data type. If people say that order date, I don't like the format. I like the format DDMMYYYY. I'll not change the data type. Data type, let it be same, but I will go and change the format from here. I'll select YYYYMMDD. So it will show me year first, month second, and date last, or the other way around. Some people say that, Arif, postal code is not required. Right click on that column and you can delete it. These are all basic cleaning, right? These are all very basic cleaning, very basic cleaning that I do. So does delete the column will delete the column in the origin? Whatever you do in Power BI will not affect your original file. Whatever you do, adding a new column also will not affect. Deleting a column also will not affect. It will not affect in any manner. So these are basic cleaning. Arif, what if I have duplicate records? What if I have null values? What if I want to split the columns? What if I want to merge the columns? All those things we will learn. Now we will go through the third step. What is this? Third step, visualization. I still have the interface of the data section, which is carry forwarded from step 1, step 2, and step 3. Now, this is where I create my charts. What do we call this as? You can call this as a page or canvas. Now, how will you create the charts? You have big list of charts available here. You have horizontal bar chart, you have vertical bar chart, you have horizontal cluster chart, vertical cluster chart. Many different types of charts are available, and you have the data. So how you create the chart is you select any chart, it will show up here. Once it show up there, then you have to bring right fields and add in the right areas. Step 1, step 2, then your chart will populate. Step 1 is just click on any of the chart, then bring the right fields and add in the right areas. That will populate your chart. Now, if I click on this chart here, it showed up here. See, observe. I clicked on the first chart here in the list, and then I can see this view here. Now, if I select this, I will see x-axis, y-axis, legend, everything, correct? I can see various areas which will help me to populate this chart. Let's build a chart for sales by year. Harif, you told that 16, 17, 18, 19 is the sales years that you have. Well, let's build a chart for sales by year. I want to see each year how much sales I'm doing. I will go into order date. It's a date field. Expand. Date hierarchy will be there. Further expand. You will see year. Bring this year and add it in the y-axis because horizontal chart, y-axis is my dimension and x-axis is my sales. I got my first Power BI chart created, simple as that. Okay. Now people will say that, if I don't like the horizontal bar chart, I want to create a vertical bar chart. So people will then delete the chart and they recreate the chart. Don't delete. Select this chart and click on the vertical chart. It will convert that to that kind of chart. Click on a line chart. It will convert it. Click on the pie chart. It will convert it. Click on the tree map. It will convert it. Click on the funnel chart. It will convert it. Click on the waterfall chart. It will convert it. Correct, guys? That means you always create a basic chart, either bar chart or a table. Then anytime you can check which is the best chart which is giving good look and feel. Correct? You can always do that. So you can change the chart type from one type to other type always. Are you able to see the chart getting converted from one type to other type? That's nice. And now people will say, I want to create a different chart, another chart. I want to fix this chart and I want to create another chart. Okay. You went into focus mode here. There will be a back to report option. You have to click on back to report. It will come there. Okay. I want to create new charts also. Okay. Click somewhere on the blank space. Now this time I want to see sales by quarter. I'll click on the pie chart. It showed up. I'll bring and keep it here. And I will add quarter in the legend and sales in the values. I got my pie chart also. Now you can clearly see that quarter one is giving 15% of the total sales. Quarter two, I'm getting 22.7% of the total sales. Quarter three, I'm getting 27% of the total sales. And in quarter four, which is highest, I'm getting 34% of my total sales. So across the years also I can see, individual quarter also I can see. So just see the magic. If you want to see which year it is, click on that particular year. You will see the changes in your pie chart automatically. Isn't it nice? Charts are connected. In Power BI, charts are connected. Click on 2018, you'll see only that year values. Click on 2017, you'll see only that year values. Click on 2016, you'll see only that year values. Correct, guys? Values and this one. Now people will say, Arif, is it possible reverse way? People will ask, is it possible reverse way? Click on any quarter, your bar chart also will reflect. See how much composition of sales is coming in quarter one. How much composition of sales is coming in each quarter of the year. See, I can see that. That means charts are connected to each other. Last chart I will create, which is line chart. I'll create a line chart. I'll keep this here and I will add month in the x-axis and sales in the y-axis. And now you can see your line chart also. And your line chart also will change if you select a particular year. See, the shape of the line chart is changing. Now I can clearly see 2017 sales, which quarter is giving more sales, and if it is giving less sales, then why, in which month. Or if that's so nice, I can see that year, quarter, and month in the same view. Means the data are connected. Yeah. Click somewhere on the blank space inside the chart because that will check your clicks. So for the bar line chart, what I did, I added x-axis as the month from order date and sales from the table. Then it populated Jan to December. Okay. Now Let's save our work file. I'm just clicking on save here so that it will ask me save my project with some name. So guys, please save your work. Otherwise, you have to come and do it again. Don't let that happen. Just save your work with some name. I'll say that IntelliPack Superstore B28. I'm giving mine any name as per my understanding. You give any names that you want. And the extension with which it will get saved is PBIX. And then I'll save it. Superstore. Thank you. Puja. Okay. And then save it. And now your work is saved. Now, when you come to the next, you will open exactly the same point where we have stopped. I'll just click on save here or file and save. It will save your work. We know that, guys. How to save any file, we know that. In Excel, Microsoft Word, we have seen that. It's same. Okay. So how do we create a chart? I have the data set on the right hand side. I will select any chart of my choice here. For example, first chart I'll select. I will add the fields that is asked here. I will add the sales in the x-axis because x-axis is the height of the bar. And then year from the order date will go into the y-axis. Yes. This is how I create my chart. And then people say that if I don't like horizontal bar chart, I want to create a vertical bar chart. So people will sometimes they'll delete this chart and they'll redo it. Don't delete it. You can just directly click on this chart and you can change the chart type. See, whatever chart type you want, you can convert that chart type into so that you can check which look and feel is in field map. You have to recreate a chart. After you do the settings there, you have to recreate your chart. No, right? What is missing on the dashboard? Formatting, details, filter, title, logos, many things are missing. So basically, the charts what I wanted are there, but it's not in the way that I want to present. That means formatting is not there. Right format is not there. So if you see here, currently I'm in this menu. Like you have three menus here, you have three menus here also. First is the visual, build visual. Second one is the format visual. See, under the format visual menu I am. So every visual or a chart will have its format menu. See, this chart also will have its own format menu. Line chart will have its own format menu. Map chart will have its own format menu. And also, even the background of the dashboard will have its own format menu. That means you have to format individually each and every item on a dashboard. You have to format individually each and every item on your dashboard. Let's learn about it. So first I want to format my canvas. I'll just go to my formatting option here. And now under the formatting option, under the formatting option for the canvas, you will see page information, canvas settings, canvas background, wallpaper, these things. So what is page information? In page information, you will see page name you can set. You can set it here also directly. Need not be that you have to set it here only. See, I'll set it as a sales dashboard. The same name will reflect here. Next, you can set up the canvas size. You can set up what ratio you want. If you want a custom size, you can set up a custom size also. For the custom, you can get that. Now, canvas background. Okay, do you want to see any background, white background? You don't like it? Okay, change the background to any of this color. For the learning purpose, I'll just select some dark color. Even if I select it, nothing is happening. Why? Because transparency is 100%. Reduce the transparency and see it came up. And now background is done. Similarly, you can go and add a wallpaper as an image. If you have a company background image, you can add that here. All that you can do for canvas. So basically, what is important in canvas formatting is size and background color. Apart from that, it's totally fine. So you can add image as well. Now, formatting of the visual is done. Here is a map chart, map visual. Now, my canvas background is done. Now I have to format my individual charts also. What all options are there to format the individual charts? Let me select the chart here and see formatting options have changed to chart level formatting. For chart level formatting, it has changed. Now you can do x-axis formatting, y-axis formatting, grid line, zoom slider, columns, ribbons, many other things. But before that, people will confuse and they ask, what is the difference between visual formatting and general formatting? Both are same. I feel both are same, but there is a difference. I'll tell you how to identify that. Where to go for formatting, whether it's general or visual. So now, is this my visual area in the chart? The one which I have highlighted, do you call it as a visual area? Anything outside that is general formatting. Anything inside that area is visual formatting. Outside means borders, title, shading, all those things. Internal, that means inside the visual is visual formatting. So it's like basically interior and exterior. Interior formatting is visual formatting. Exterior formatting is general formatting. Can we remember like this? Interior and exterior? It will be easy to remember. Parallelly doing with me. So whenever I am doing any concept, select the chart, format. And then general formatting, we can do exterior formatting here. Now, if I select general formatting for this chart, I have a title, sum of sales by year. No Arif. Let's make it as a meaningful title. Drop down. Then I can say sales by year. Okay. Now, if you want to increase the size of this, increase it. If you want to place it in center, place it in center. Then next is you can go to effects. In effects also you have three menus: option background, visual border, and shadow. I'll turn off the background because I want to match the background of my screen. See, you can add a background or you can remove the background. Once the background is removed, I will add a visual border, means border to my chart in the white color. And I will make a little bit round the edge so that it looks round at the corners. Then I will turn on the shading part and I'll give shading as white. Don't you think your chart looks like a 3D view, which is little bit elevated from the canvas? So you should go select your chart, go to format. Under general, you have all the options. Under the effects, you will see that all options available. And now the title of the chart went black. I know where to change it. Title, change the color to white. So once you do general formatting, let's go to visual formatting. How to come inside and do other formatting. I'll go to visual formatting. And now I have x-axis, y-axis, grid lines, zoom slider, everything available. First, I'll go with top to bottom. First, x-axis. If you see 16, 17, 18, 19 years and the year, this you can format. I'll go to x-axis. I have range, values, and title. Okay, range, whatever range you can select. Values is what important for me. I'll just change the values to white in color. It has turned white and I can increase the size to 10, whatever size you want. Then similarly for title also, I can change the title to white. It has changed. The same you have x-axis, you will have y-axis also. Values, change it to white. And then title, I can change it to white. The options that what I'm showing now, everyone may be able to do everything, or some people like only minimal formatting. So I'm showing you which are the best practices. Some people may do more than this and some people may do less than this in the formatting, because formatting is an individual choice. How much we want to format, what color we want to put, whether we want to add a background, whether we don't want to add a background, or we want to keep a border, if you don't want to keep a border, it's based on the business, how they wants to see the chart. Okay. So formatting will differ from business to business or personal preference also. Formatting is something that everyone will have their own ideas. I'll go to Y-axis, if I don't want the sum of sales like a y-axis here, people will say, Arif, sum of sale doesn't make sense. Can you just make it as sales? I can just make it as sales. You can add values and title also for the y-axis. Now y-axis is done. People will say, Arif, I don't like the grid lines. Which one you don't like? X-axis grid line or y-axis grid line? I don't like the y-axis grid line. Vertical. X-axis, let it be. It gives me a reference. Otherwise, it will be difficult for me to see which particular year has crossed what values mark. Okay. If you want to make it as a solid line, you can keep the pointer minimum to 1. That's about the grid lines. If you want to keep it as a dotted line only, okay, keep it as a dotted line. You can. Then after the grid line, zoom slider. Zoom slider will be used when you have lot of items on the x-axis that you will see when you learn about the different chart. Columns. When I go to columns, you will see colors. Oh, Arif, this is what I wanted. Colors. I can change the colors. I can change the color, whatever color I want. You want to give individual colors? We'll see how to do individual colors based on the formula in some time. But for now, single color. Next, borders for the what? Borders for the labels? No, I don't need that. Columns for borders? I don't need the column borders. Now, I'll go to the data labels. Turn on the data labels. The numbers started showing up here. That is called data labels. Now, in data labels, you have many options, title, values. Important part for me is where you want to place it. Currently, it's in the top. You can place it vertically, change the orientation, or you can move it in the top, middle, or bottom. See, inside center, you can go to inside base based on what you prefer. Now, I'll make it as outside end only. And after I do the positioning, then I'll go to the values. Black color, I don't like. White. Numbers are very small. Increase the size. Units 2.3 millions doesn't make sense. I want thousands. Display units, change it to thousands. 2 decimal points? No, I want only 1 decimal point. Reduce it to 1 decimal point or 0 decimal points. So once you complete this formatting of this chart, if I ask you to format the other charts also, you will think formatting one chart only took so much of time. If I ask you to format all the other charts also like that, you will think, okay, I can't do that because it's so much time consuming and I may end up formatting it differently also. Correct? Out of 10-15 options, 1 or 2 options definitely you may make mistakes and it will start showing differently. Have a look. I'll show some magic trick. Select this chart. Under home menu, format painter, select it. Icon got changed. Your cursor icon got changed. Drop it in the destination chart. Done. Select the chart. Under home menu, format painter, drop it on the destination chart. Done. This trick will save a lot of your time. First, create one chart based on what requirement is. Then you can just format paint the chart. Now, I can see almost everything got copied. Just the title. Okay, title formatting got copied, but the title name will not get copied, right? Or if that makes sense, title name will not get copied. It's about only the formatting. Whichever options match between the two charts, that will get copied. Now, it's up to me. I have to go and change it under the home menu. Now, I'll go into the general and I'll change the title. Sales by quarter, sales by month, sales by country. When you're going to format menu, you have to select a chart, then you have to go to format menu. For every formatting option, you should select the chart, then you should go. And now people will say, Arif, in this chart, the legend is taking more space. Okay, go to this chart. Under the formatting, legend you turn off. But Arif, if I turn off the legend, which year for which quarter, how will I hover over it? You'll get to know. But I want to display that. Okay. Details label, you change it to all details. Now you'll see quarter also. So like this minor tweaking, you should learn. What if I do? What changes? It will reflect all those things. So the formatting got copied. 90% of the formatting got copied. 10% because of the chart differences, it will not get copied like color or other things. But that will save a lot of my time. First, I will format my first chart perfectly till the what we need. And then we will just format, copy paste. I know people will be trying to catch up the things, but yes, do it. Select your chart. Under the home menu, you will see format painter. Select it, drop it on the destination chart. See the icon got changed, right? Parijat? Do you see my cursor icon got changed? Yes, that means I have copied the formatting. And then whichever chart you click, it will paste the formatting there. Select the chart, go to formatting, there will be legend option there. You can turn it off. In x-axis, you have title. In x-axis, you have range, values, and title. You can change the title color here. It's there only. Only thing you have to see. See, if I change it, it will change the color. It has changed. So yes, you have to search. Then only you'll get it. That's the reason I'm giving you so much of time just for formatting, because it will consume some time to search the option. So now slowly my dashboard is taking shape now. If I add some titles, some logos, some slicers, some buttons, then my dashboard will be ready to go. So what is the next thing in my chart, in my dashboard? What is missing? Title. And if you don't have a title, you don't have a logo to display what dashboard it is, what information it is, you'll see that. You can change the title to dynamic. You'll see that in future. Based on what fields you add in the chart, you can dynamically change your title. Hmm? When you will learn DAX at that time, we will see that. What is FX? If I go into insert menu on the top, can you all see this elements, text, button, shape, image, button, shape, image? In order to add a title, which element I should take? Definitely text box. If I click on text box, it will show up a text box here. I can move it. I can keep here as I want. I can now define my title. Sales, global, sales, dashboard. I'll just select the text and I'll increase the size to whatever size you want. I'll change it to 28 and then I'll make it a different style, whichever style that you want. For the font, it's possible. I'll change the color of the font to white. Now, you can even add a subtitle also below that in small letters. You can display that. And then I'll go to the formatting menu of this chart again. Under the effects, I'll turn off the background. Similarly, I can add a logo also. How to add a logo? Which element I should take? Image. Select the image, whichever image that you have on your machine, and you can download any logo from the internet, whichever logo you like. I have taken a logo of this, and now I will reduce the size of this. It will dynamically adjust my logo and bring your logo and keep it here. See, I'll move the title a little bit more and then keep my logo. Is it difficult or easy? How to add text as a title or the logos on the dashboard? Easy, right? Not that difficult. So you have to manually align them. Jay. See, whenever you move a chart, like in PPTs, you'll get the guiding guidelines. Or see, red color lines are coming. Nice. Whenever I try to move a chart, red color guidelines will come. So that will help you to align your chart based on the other charts. To align the objects one beside the other, one above the other. So it's similar. Now people will say, Arif, this space is empty. Can we add some like numbers there? like overall sales. I can see sales in the bar graph. But if I want to see sales, cost, and my orders on the numbers on the top, can we do that? If yes, which object? We can do that. Say you have a card. In the list of charts, do you see card chart? Do you see the card chart on which I have highlighted? If I select that chart will show up here. And I will add just sales to that card. I'll see sales. And I can place it wherever I want in my chart. See, I can place it like this, but the size is very big of the numbers inside it. The legend also is not, I'm not happy with that. So let's format it a little bit. First of all, I'll go to formatting. I'll go to general. I don't want the background. Once you turn on the background, I'll come back to my visual. The callout value, I'll change that color to white. And then size, I don't want 45, it's too big. I'll make it as 30. I'll make it as 30 numlock. 30. 30 is too small. Okay, make it as 36 or 35. Then I don't want the sum of sales at the bottom. There is a category label. See the bottom, what you see, it's called category label. I'll turn it off. If you want to remove that from the bottom and add it on the top, change it here and add a title. Add sales as the title. Make it as center aligned. Change the color of that to white. Does it look good now? My card compared to the initial card, this number is looking good now. Presentable. But if I want multiple of this kind, okay, the shortcut method is select that card, Control plus C, Control plus V, or copy paste. I'm copy pasting the visual from the home menu. Select that, copy, and then paste. I created 3 different copies of my chart. Now this one, I'll change under formatting to, in the field, I'll remove the sales and I'll add a profit. Background you remove. And then title, you change it to profit. Similarly, for last one, remove the title, change it to quantity, and the field, you remove the sum of sales and add quantity. Isn't it nice? The people will say that if there are too close, okay, add borders. If you feel they're too close, then add borders. See, they are not even aligned. So you can just align them properly how you want. Example, I'll select this and I'll try to move it. So it will ask me, Arif, align it properly like this. And then I'll just move it. It will say properly aligned like this. When you move a chart, is it that the red lines helping you? Okay, how much offset I'm leaving from the other charts, up and down, right and left? Check that. That will be really of a great help to align your charts. Just compare to where we started with this dashboard and now, is it looking in a really good shape where I can share with my users? Some things I can still add that we'll be learning now, like filters, buttons, all those things we'll be adding now. But before that, reach till this point in the dashboard. You have to select the text. Before you resize the text in the header, see here in the title, you have to select the text before you change the size. Many time people, what they do, they'll just click inside and they'll try to change the size. Which part of the text you want to change the size, you have to select it. If you have to delete the entire thing, just click on these 3 dots and then remove option will be there. You can remove it. Go to format. Everything related to background, title, everything on formatting. See, formatting, you have it. Effects, background, everything is there. It should show. It might got have hidden between the charts. See, if I select this chart, the 3 dots will get hidden behind it. Sometimes that happens. You have to move the chart and just check where the 3 dots are there. It's just about layout and formatting. It's just about layout. What options I am getting, even you also should get the same because we are using the latest version of Power BI. What options I am getting, you also should get the same options on the dashboard. Select the card. Inside the card, you have to add sales first. Then your So just type as done if you have reached till this point. The more the responses, it's better for us to move to the next step. Okay. So now, what else do we need on this dashboard? So now if someone comes and asks you, Arif, I want to see this dashboard for the categories, various categories. Okay. I want to see this dashboard only for particular segment. So now that I don't have anywhere in the chart, right? If someone asks me show this chart for a particular year, I'll select this. It will filter the entire dashboard. Okay, now I can see the values. Okay, if they ask for a particular country, I can click on this. But sometimes that we do analysis is not on the visuals. At that time, we have to take help of slicers. What do you mean by a slicer? These are interactive filters. Have a look. There is a slicer option here. If I click on this slicer, wide guard, delete, dashboard. Now, here is a slicer. And in this slicer, I can add my region. See, I'll select region and I'll add the region here. Now it will show all the 13 regions which are available. Now I can select any region and see your entire dashboard will filter only for that region. Isn't it a really nice way to analyze your data and slice and dice your information? The map chart also is getting filtered. The other information also is getting filtered. If I select Central Asia, I'll see. If I select East, I'll see these countries. EME, I'll see these countries. North, I'll see countries like that. Isn't it nice? I can use it to slice and dice information so that people can see what information they want. Now, if you want to select multiple items, you'll not be able to select multiple items here. But how can you make it select multiple items? In the slicer settings, you'll see selections. Currently, it's multi-select with control. Okay, that means control to select, multi-select. Okay, Arif, that's nice. But with control key, you want to select multiple values or you want to select without control key? You decide it. You want to select it with control key? Enable this. If you don't want with control key, just disable this. Now I can select without the control key also. Sometimes some slicer, you want it to be a single select. Make it a single select. It will turn to be a radio button. Try whether a slicer is working or no. Okay. So this is a slicer. This is a slicer. Select that slicer. That slicer will come here. Slicer should have a field, whichever field you want to play with. In this slicer, I have added region. You have to go to formatting, slicer settings, and selections, and just play with these three options. You're not getting checkbox because you are not disabling multi-select with control. Under the selections, slicer settings, visual formatting, you should be getting it. You should be getting is an option available there. If you are using older version of Power BI, then it will be difficult. Have you recently installed Power BI? What if I want the name of the countries? The region that you selected here, Central Asia, see, in the map chart, it will get reflected. Zoom in, it will show India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Myanmar. This is one slicer that I have added, but you can add multiple slicers. You can add a slicer for country also. Example, I'll just move this slicer a little bit up and then I'll add a country slicer here below. But place is very congested, right? Okay, let me do one thing. I'll go to formatting and I'll just change slicer setting from vertical list to drop down. That will save a lot of my space and I can accommodate more slicers. I'll add this slicer here. I'll take another slicer just below that. I'll add country in it. And now I see country names also. Visual slicer settings, drop down. Now someone asked, I want to see the countries falling in that particular region. Now currently I'll see all the countries here. Just go and select which region you want. I'll select Central Asia. Now see, only those countries will be visible in the other slicers. So that means what? The slicers will have cascading effect. What do you mean by cascading effect? Means if you select one slicer, a value, the other slicers also just by typing the question in the real natural language. Can you see that? And now as I have selected only central, in all the versions are there. As I've selected only the Central Asia region, it was showing only 5 countries. If I erase this slicer, now I have all the information here. Now if I click on this Q&A button and now type the same question, see it will show the entire globe. I'm doing it one more time. Sales by country. It will generate the chart and you can see that chart here. And now what type of chart you want? I want that to be a map chart. Just type map. It will generate the map chart for you on the fly. Isn't it nice? It take the data from an entire data model. Q&A button. People who are not seeing it, you might not be using the latest version of Power BI. It should be available under the buttons Q&A. Now I can type any question here. For example, people wants to see sales by sales and profit by order month. Now see, it will generate that chart for you by profiling your data. If I am able to do, then even you should be able to do, guys. It will take some time to process these statements because it has to fetch the data from data model. It is taking some time for me to generate and it has generated now. Now chart name also you can write it. By default, it is, you can write the chart name also like combo chart. You want to see bar and line both together? I can write the chart name, pie chart, donut chart, map chart, like that. You write the chart name, it will display that information in that. See? And the field names should match based on your data. If it is sales here in the data, it should be sales only you have to type. The name should be same to use this feature. If you're building a dashboard, and in that dashboard, it's not possible for you to add every chart, right? Definitely it's not possible for me to show many charts. Sometimes I will show only the most used charts in the dashboard. But if the user wants to see something more which is not available in the dashboard, he can just click on this. Have a look. Again, I'm showing people who are telling not able to write. Press Control and click on it. It will open this and this type of interface it will show. You have to type your question there. How did I take the button? I went into the elements, drop down, buttons, Q&A button. A quick glance on the chat window. If you guys are able to see that Q&A button, Q&A feature will be really very handy to explore the data. So you can use this in your dashboard if you want users to explore their data by themselves. Type the question correctly, it will show. Might be you're not typing the question correctly. See, SALE, yes, sales by country. Country also is there. I have sales by profit. Come on. What do you mean by sales by profit? What do you mean by sales by profit? That will show number. You want a measure and you want a dimension to show populate a chart. If you just type one metric or two metrics, it will show only that. By profit, they will categorize. No, that will not work. In order to populate any chart in Power BI, you should get a dimension and a measure. Guys, can you build a chart just by using measures, or you need a dimension also to build a chart? We need a dimension also to build a chart. Dimension means a categorical field also you need to build a chart. Exactly. So when you take sales by profit, both are measures. It will show number only. Try, just explore Q&A. Is it working? Q&A. Now have a look. You can use this Q&A to create the charts also directly in the dashboard. Now people will say, is this available just for the users to just see the chart, or I can even create the charts using that? Have a look. If I go to a new page, if I want to create the chart, create the standard charts also, just double click on the canvas. It will open the Q&A feature. Same Q&A, but now to create standard charts. Sales by order year. When I say sales by order here, it will create a chart for me on the canvas, which I can translate to any chart here. See, translate to this chart. Done. I'm just typing a question and selecting what type of chart I want. I'm not adding any field there. Double click. Sales by order quarter pie chart. It will generate a pie chart that I can convert that to a standard visual again. Isn't it nice? How we can dynamically generate the chart using Q&A for the user to explore the data as well as for the developers to create the dashboards. Both. Yes or no? Guys, it has generated. Convert it to a standard visual. Have a look. I'm doing it. Double click. Type sales by order month. Order month. It will show what chart. Convert that to a standard visual. Q&A feature is helpful not only for the end users, for the developers also. So now, similarly to Q&A, you can add other buttons as well. For example, sometimes you want to let users to click on a hyperlink, correct? A website. If you want a user to click on a link and a website should open, I'll click on buttons and I'll take information button here. I'll take info button and I'll keep on this button here. See this icon I can keep. And then I'll configure the action here. Can you see? For every button, there will be an action. For Q&A button also, there is an action. Action, you can change it. For this button also, you'll have an action. So I'll just change this to an action, turn on, and then different types of actions you can add. You can add bookmark action, drill through action, page navigation action, Q&A action, different actions. I will add web URL action for this. When you say web URL, give a link here. Okay. For example, I'll just take this link, copy this link. Just for example, I'll just close this window and now I will paste this link here. Now what will happen? See, if someone clicks on this, that link will open on the browser. So that has opened on the other screen for me. See, it has opened here. Isn't it a very nice way to give some information to the end user with the help of icons, from guide, how to use the dashboard, some guide about your business process, all those things? It's so helpful. So you can take the button here, any button you can take, only the difference will be action. If I take information button, that button will show up here and you can just go and format it to the right action. Now I can further format this to make it look good like a general button. See, I can just go to the shape. What shape of the button you want? I'll make the shape as a pill shape and then I'll go and make this in the style. All these are formatting. Whatever you want to format, however you want to format, you can format it. Say you want to add some text, you can add a text. Say info, make it as white. Then you can increase the size of that text if you want. Icon, the icon that you have added, you can change even the icon also, whichever icon you want. And then icon color also you can change. You can add fill option so that it can fill the color, and then you can select any color of your choice for that button. The text, if you want, you can place it in the center. All these formattings you can do for your button to make it look. This will make definitely your buttons look stand out from the other visuals. Do you think so? And what I'm doing, it's just formatting. What you have learned so far, formatting, it's a formatting only. Where we need to give URL? Under the actions. Under the actions, select the web URL and then paste the entire URL, which will start from HTTPS. Don't just add from www dot. You need to give full URL with the protocol as well. And then press Control and click. Then the URL will trigger a web page. Format your buttons, format your actions, and then test it if it is working. Is it working for you? Buttons. Similarly, you can create navigation button also, which will move from page to page. You can create clear slicer button also, which will clear any slices that you have on your dashboard. So all these things will make your dashboard more interactive in nature. Conditional formatting. What do you mean by conditional formatting on the conditional colors? On a particular chart, how to add conditional colors we will see. How many of us still doing? I'm still doing buttons. Press Control and click. That just clicking will not work. Press Control and hold and then click. And ensure that your link is having the protocol of HTTPS also in front of it. Otherwise, it will not work. So first you open that link on the browser, then copy that entire link, then it will work. See, it's working now. So if you hover over that button, it will give you that message also. Control plus click here to follow link. Recently they have done the changes, but earlier it used to not work without the, but I usually add full protocol link with protocol also. Shall we go to the next topic? Now, pay attention. I will create a matrix chart. Matrix means what? What's the difference between table and matrix? Okay, I'll ask what is the difference between table and pivot table? Table is a one directional table. Pivot table is a two directional table. Straight table will have data only in one direction. Have a look. Year, month, and sales. Don't you think the values are getting populated on only one direction? This is a straight table. We call it a straight table. But matrix is a pivot table structure. Have a look. You can populate your chart in the rows and columns and then sales in the values. The numbers are same. In both the visuals, numbers are same. The way you represent the values are different. If someone asks the difference between table and a pivot table, this should be your answer. Straight table is a table in only one direction, and the matrix is nothing but a pivot table where the data values are stored in multiple columns, x and y axis both. Now, a question, guys. Can you tell from either of the charts, from either of them, which year, which month has the highest sales and which year, which month has the lowest sales? But how much time it little this I wanted to hear that. Little difficult. People say little difficult to read because this is a small table. Here only you are feeling difficulty. But think about if the table is bigger, correct? It will be difficult, right? To identify. Have a look. I'll go into formatting, cell elements. I'll just click on this one. Now is it difficult to say which is highest and which is smallest? Conditional formatting. So I'll go into the formatting. So there are so many formatting options. I'll go to cell elements and I'll turn on background color. That has changed my background color here. So guys, that's the best practice in the session. Two notes. Both are separate chart. I didn't change it. This is a table chart. This is a table and this is a matrix chart. Yes, you can do this in table also. You can do this in a chart also. That is what I will be showing now. Not only in table, you can do this in graphs and charts as well. Now people will say that, Arif, blue color I don't like. I want to change the color. Okay, go to your cell elements on the FX. On the FX, if I click, it will give me an interface where you can control what color it should show, based on what value it should show, based on what style it should show. I'll make it as a gradient style currently. And it is based on the sum of sales. Drop down. For the minimum value, I'll select red. And for highest value, I'll select green. In between value, I'll select yellow. Do these settings, click OK, and tell me, does it look nice? So if I click on OK, just see how my chart will show up now. Isn't it a nice way to show the hotspots in your chart in the form of a table based on your conditions? Currently, it's a gradient style. You can change this based on the condition also. So I can clearly say that initial years, my sales was less, but as I moved from 16 to 19, in the upcoming years, my sales improved. And in every year, I can see the pattern there. The sales at the end of the year was higher. With the help of this chart, like this, we do data storytelling. Now people will say, and if I don't want the gradient style, I want that to be based on my rules. Rules means, Arif, I don't decide the color based on the gradient style, based on highest and lowest, but I have some set of rules. Based on that, the colors should change. Now I'll change the style from gradient to rules. Now I can say if the value is greater than 0, number, and less than or equal to 1 lakh, 1 lakh, I want it to be red. New rule, if the value is greater than or equal to 1 lakh, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is number, I'll say till 3.5 lakh, I'll say it to be yellow. And then new rule, greater than 3.5 lakh, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, number, till maximum number, till max, I'll say green. Click on OK and see the result. Which is good? Gradient is good or rule based is good? Which one do you like more? It based on the business. Not what we like, depends on the business, how they want to say it. Depends, exactly. But the answer is we have both the features available for us. How to open the rules? Drop down here, drop down here. Currently it is gradient, change it to rules. Then you can define these rules. Not only based on the numbers, you can define your rule based on the percentage also. So now, where was the FX option? Can you see this? Under the cell elements, just below that, FX will be there. If you turn it on, FX will be editable. Now, not only the background colors, have a look. Not only the background colors, you can play the same option with the font color as well. With the font color also you can play. See, you can change the font color. You can even add data bars. Isn't it different ways to use that conditional formatting? Now, have a look. I'll go to my sales dashboard. I'll try to do the same thing on my bar chart and the map chart. How? I'll select my bar chart. I'll go to formatting, columns, and I'll click on this FX. I'll say gradient, red, and more colors, green. On the bar chart also, it's possible to show that colors. Now, and if it's showing incorrect, it should show green. Why? Just check. What is the condition you have given? The condition is given based on count of date. Oh, it's correct. Is the coloring based on date is correct? Or it should be based on sales? It should be based on sales, right? Exactly. I'll just search for sales and I'll add based on sales. Click on OK. And you will see based on sales. Fantastic. It has changed. Now on the map chart also, I will try to do that. See, the same way, bubbles, colors, FX. There also you can do. Based on gradient style, lesser value will be red, higher value will be green, and in between will be orange, and your bubbles color will change here also. Now see, first you learned how to build the structure of the dashboard. Now you are adding more and more features to the dashboard. Give a try. Okay guys, we covered the formatting of our dashboard. What is general formatting? What is visual formatting? We have seen about the buttons, Q&As, slices, cards, logos, title, text objects like elements. We have seen that. Then general formatting, visual formatting of the chart. Then we have been to Q&A where we learned how we can create the charts just by a message. The example, just double click somewhere on the canvas and then it will open a view for you and you can type sales by segment funnel, means whatever name that you type of the chart, it will generate a chart based on that field and that one. So this is what Q&A. So if I type a question and then it will give a chart for me based on that, I'll convert it to standard visual. This is what Q&A we have learned. Not only for the development, we can use it for the end user purpose also, where I have added that as a button on my dashboard canvas. Now, if I click on that here, press control on this link and then type sales by category, it will display that visual for me like this. This cannot be converted to a standard visual. we cannot place this visual as a visual on my dashboard, but the other method where you can just double click on the dashboard and it will do that. Next, we went into conditional colors or conditional formatting. We learned about two different types of tables. One is the standard straight table, and another one is the pivot table or a matrix. Now, we have seen how to do the conditional formatting on a particular chart based on the background color, based on the font, data bars, icons. We can show even icons also. See, we can show even icons also, and icons will change based on my rules or based on the gradient style. And we can do the same thing on this table as well. Cell elements is here also, and I can say background color. This will change the background color on my table here. But which field you did, you can control which field you want to do. You can select whichever field you want in this list, and you can do that formatting there as you want to whichever column you want. You have to select to sum of sales and then just say turn on. It will do the formatting based on that. And we have seen how we can do that in our dashboard for a bar chart also, for the map chart as well. This is the story so far. Okay, the next section that we will learn is, have a look. If I create a bar graph, not bar graph, if I create a map chart, guys, I'm creating a map chart and I'm adding country and sales here in the bubble size. And then I'll go to the formatting. I'll just increase the bubble size a little bit. Now, in my chart, in the location area, I will add state also. I will add city as well. Now, what is happening? I added three different fields here in my location, and I got four new icons, which you will not have because you have not added this state and city as well in your chart. But I have added now country, state, and city in the location area. But that didn't affect my chart. Only the area that these fields have affected is they have added four new icons here on the top. Arif, what do the icons do? If I click here on the country, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. But just observe. If I click on drill down, if I just click on drill down, it will turn black. Now I'll click on a country. What did happen? Yes, it drill down in the chart based on what I clicked. Arif, let's do it once more. Have a look. Drill up so that I get my previous view back. Click drill down is enabled. See, if it is disabled, nothing will happen. It will just select that. But when I click on drill down and then click on United States, it will drill it down and it will show only data for United States. Okay, I'm in Texas. If I click on Texas, it will further take down to the cities in Texas. Isn't it really cool? I can go more granular in the data, or I can see more aggregated value in the data if I have hierarchical nature of the fields. See, I can drill up. I'll see the states now. I can drill up now. Select on Australia. It will take down me to the states inside Australia. South Australia, click on it. It will take me down to the cities in Australia. So what is the usage of this feature? You need not create multiple charts. If the field has hierarchical nature, you need not create multiple charts for that particular fields, and we can move in and move up on the chart. I'll just click on India now. It will take me to the all states in India because the next hierarchical field was state. If I click on Maharashtra, it will take me inside Maharashtra to the cities because the next field is in states. But now if I still try to click something, is it taking me down? If not, why? Okay, have a look. I cannot go down further. Why? Because this is the last level in the hierarchy. Now, people will say, Arif, is it possible only on the map charts or we can do it on the other charts as well? I'll create a bar chart now. And now I will add sales in the y-axis and I will add year, quarter, month, I will add. And now the same icons are available for me here also, correct? Now I click on drill down. I can click on 2018. It will take me down. In that year, the 4 quarters. Further go down, click Q3. In that year, that quarter, 3 months. If you want to drill up. Now, what is the third icon doing, Arif? Click on the third icon. What it just did, it moved down one level down in the hierarchy. It moved one level down in the hierarchy, but the values are for which year? For 1 year, 2 years, or all the years? For all the years. If we click on third icon, the values will be for all the years. It is not applying any filter. It is just switching down in the hierarchy. See, if I click on this, because I'm not clicking on the bar, right? Am I clicking on the bar or am I clicking just on the arrows here? So if you click on the bar, then you'll go down in the hierarchy. But you are not clicking in the bars. You're just clicking here on the icons. See, it has moved down. Now, similarly, if I click on the fourth icon, it will expand my chart. See, it will expand. It will further expand my chart to the year, month, and quarter level so that you can analyze the data in more in detail or drill up. You'll see year and quarters. Further drill up, you can see year and. So just by creating hierarchies in a chart, you can see three different views from drill up and drill down, three different views from switch dimension, and three different views from the expansion. Total 9 different ways to analyze the information just by creating simple hierarchy. Otherwise, if you didn't have that concept, then you would end up creating 4 5 different charts. Yes or no? Guys, if I don't have this hierarchy concept, then definitely I would have ended up creating 4 5 different charts that would consume so much of my space on the dashboard. And now my user got this flexibility that he can drill up, drill down, switch the dimension, expand the chart. That will help him a lot. And it is more of intuitive also. It's so much intuitive also that people can understand, okay, if I want to drill down, click on do drill down icon there. And then if not, then it acts as a regular chart. It's a dual nature, right? Yes, it will combine all the year's data at the month level if you go with the third icon. But if you go with the drill down method, when you go at the month level, it will show only those months which you have selected and their data. Okay, if you want to see all the months, but it should show only that particular month data, then you have to use fourth icon. Correct, guys? Now, what benefit that this feature is giving me is this feature is giving me a benefit that I can move down in the fields. And now, Arif, how can you use this in your dashboard? Okay, I have already dashboard built. Now let's see how it will help me here in this map chart. I will add state. I'll add the city as well. Now see any analysis I can do. Region, for region, I have a filter here. You can add, you want to add region, you can add the region as well. But have a look. If I enable this drill down and click on this, no, without drill down, if I click on this, my entire dashboard is showing only that country data. But if I enable this drill down and then click on India, can you see that? I can see this complete dashboard as if it is created only for India, correct? Because other charts are also filtering based on that. Other charts are also filtering based on that. Now, you want to cancel the drill down and just analyze the data for Maharashtra, disable the drill down, and you can start analyzing the data. Oh, no, Arif, I want to go one more level down. Okay, click on drill down again and click on Maharashtra. It will take you down further. At the India level, I want to go and see for all the states and cities. Okay, go to one level down. All the cities, it is showing something messy in the data, which is showing Salem, the name here, and we have Salem here as well in one of our state. That is the reason it is showing me incorrect information here. So I need to just go and fix it. See, I understood something here in my dashboard. Now see, I can see all the cities. Now you want to analyze for only that city, disable the drill down. And what is my hometown? My hometown is Hubli, Dharwad. If I click on it, I can see the data for Hubli. Isn't it really nice? If you learn to use drill up and drill down, well, analyze the data at any level in that hierarchy. And your other charts also start reflecting the same thing, correct? Isn't it a really nice feature to have in our dashboard? If we have a fields like hierarchical nature, I'll click on drill down on my drill down option here. If I click on India here, state level, and then drill down it here, and now if I click on any of the city here, it will not reflect because you are still in a drill down mode. If you want, clicking on a city should affect all your charts, you have to come out of drill down mode. This is what people are missing. Now I'm out of the drill down mode. Now I'll select, it will change. Makes sense? Being in drill down mode, you can't select the values and expect the other charts to change. Because guys, that is by nature, right? When you're telling drill down, yes, you are just telling that Arif, go down in the chart. When you come out of the drill down, then only other charts will get affected. So this is what you should get understanding of hierarchies before you use them in your charts. Okay, have a look. I have year, quarter, and month in the right sequence. If you add a month first and then quarter second and the year down, can you expect the hierarchy to go drill down? I can't expect. So it should be in the right sequence, and you should be at the year level or quarter level to drill down. If you are already at the month level, can you further drill down? No, right? So these understanding you should have. So now see, I've enabled the drill down. Now I can click go down. Now I can further go down. And now if I click on this again, people will say, Arey, drill down is not working. Why? Why drill down is not working here? You can't do this. Why can't go further? Why? Because that is the last level in the hierarchy. It's the last level in the hierarchy. So it cannot go further down. So this understanding you have. Before using this feature, you have to have this understanding. And now many times people say, how will a user will understand? Okay, you explain them, or go ahead, go to insert, bring a text box, add a text box, and write some description about it. Correct? Can you do that for your user, for him to understand? In 2 lines, just give some descriptions. It's totally fine, right? To give some descriptions on your dashboard, give some description. That's what I do. If I am adding any new feature on the dashboard, I usually give the description. Okay, let's go to the next concept. We are settled with hierarchies. Now I have not enabled the drill down, selected, nothing happening. Why nothing is happening, friends? Why nothing is happening? Because drill down is not activated. Enable the drill down, click on a particular country, it will take you down. Perfect. Come up with the hierarchy. Yeah, good. Click the third icon back. It will take you at the state level, which is cluttered, which I don't want to see. That's the reason I did drill down and then I see at the state level. This is one of the reason. Right, guys? To use hierarchies, it is one of the reason. If you go one down, and if it is difficult to see the states, can I see only for a particular region or a particular country? Yes, you can do that. First drill down and then go to the next level. Now, I'll create a new page again and I'll go to my dashboard. Please pay attention. This is interesting. See, all the features what I'm showing you here will enhance the quality of a dashboard, correct? Either you change the colors, you would make it drill up and drill down. In the same area, you are improving the quality of a dashboard by adding more features to it. Now, whenever you see this black color box which is popping up, whenever you hover over any of the field on your chart, what is that called? What is that option? Tooltip. Yes, you are right. It's a tooltip. Now, what is the use of tooltip? What is the purpose of tooltip? What's the use of tooltip? Why do I need tooltips? To display some additional informations, correct? To display some text message or to display some additional values. Example, someone asked, Arif, this is sales by year chart. If I want to see profit also, but my chart shouldn't get affected, but I want to show profit also. Okay, bring profit and add it in the tooltip area. Not only profit, bring quantity also, add it in tooltip area. Now go back over on the bar and see, is it nice? Without changing the effect of a chart, I can show additional information. And you have to do nothing, guys. Just bring that field and add it in the area. And it started showing up. I didn't enable anything. I just brought the profit and the quantity here in the tooltips area. That's it. And you can do that in on any chart. You can do that on any chart. People say that, Arif, this is really very nice if I want to show some additional information. Now people will say, Arif, that's it. Is that all we have for tooltips? You want to see some really cool thing in Power BI now? How tooltips can create magic? Have a look. I'll create a new page. On this page, I will create a very simple chart, line chart for sales by month, month in the x-axis, sales in the y-axis. And I will enable the data labels for this. And purposely, I will add the labels in the thousands. Display units, I'll make it as thousands. Created, guys. On the page one that I have created, new page, create a line chart, sales by month, correct? Okay, I created a page now. I'll go to the canvas formatting. There is this showing the chart formatting options. How can I go to the canvas formatting? How can I go to canvas formatting? Click outside, then it will show me canvas formatting. Now, in the page information, do you see option here, allow use as tooltip? Under the page information of the canvas formatting, page information, allow use as tooltip. I'll just turn it on. Now you might have understood what I'm trying to achieve, correct? Allow use as tooltip. This entire canvas, I have enabled allow users tooltip. Next what? I'll go to my sales dashboard. Select the bar graph. Select the bar graph. Under the field section, I'll remove these fields. If you want to keep it as is. I'll go to formatting of the bar graph. In general formatting, tooltips, report page, it was default. I'll change it to report page. Page, the one which you have enabled, allow users tooltip, page 1. Now, see the magic. Can you see that? Isn't it a really nice option that you can see chart over chart, and the values on the tooltip chart is only relevant to the information that you are hovering over. Correct, everyone? I'll go to my page 1. In the page 1, I enabled on the canvas page information, allow users tooltip. This I have to do. Without this, it will not work. I have to enable this as a tooltip. Then I have to go to sales dashboard. I'll go to my bar graph, wherever you want to see that. It's not only bar graph, wherever you want to see that. You just go to that, and then under the formatting of the chart, in general formatting, total tips, you do this setting and just hover over the bar graph. Correct? Now people will have one question. Arif, there is lot of blank space. Can we remove that blank space so that it looks small view, because it's affecting the visibility of other charts? Okay, nice. Go to your page and then go to canvas settings. Canvas settings, make it as a custom size. Custom size, height, you select whatever is the choice. I will select 300 as a height. See, it has fit inside that. Now I'll say 800 as a width. Now it's showing, the chart is going out. Okay, select the chart, reduce the size of the chart, reduce the size of the chart, and keep it exactly how much you want. Keep it exactly in the center. Good, guys? I can keep exactly in the center like this by reducing the canvas size. That's not a difficult task for us to do. I can say canvas size to 300 and 800, and then I'll place my chart here in between. Now I'll go to the dashboard. Now the canvas size of the tooltip page is smaller. And now see, is this view better compared to that full screen that was showing earlier? So like this, you can create any chart and you can place it over any chart as a, you have not done the settings here. On this page, in the general formatting, in the tooltips area, you have not done the settings. In the general formatting of that bar chart, you have to enable that as a report page, and you have to say page 1. Then only it will appear, or page 1, or whatever page you have used for your line chart. Because I will not see in the tooltip list, page list, other pages. Why? Because I have not enabled allow use as tooltip for the other charts. Correct? That's the reason I don't see any other pages here. Correct? Can we enable multiple pages as tooltip on the same chart? How can you do that? Does it make sense? Multiple tooltips on the same chart? No, right? You can add the same tooltip for multiple charts, but one chart will have only one tooltip, right? People will say, Arif, I want to see two charts, not one chart as a part of tooltip. Okay, I'll help you with that. Go to page 1, create some space, add a pie chart, add quarter and sales. I don't need the legend, turn off the legend, and details label, make it as all details, because I can see quarter also in the list. Now you have it. Go to a sales dashboard. Now witness. Can you see that? This is much cooler than one chart. You can have two visuals. But in the real world, do we use tooltip for two, which is having two charts? Correct, right? It's a little bit confusing. So it's only one chart we use it. The feature is available, but we usually go for one chart. But the concept is there. You can add it. Only one tooltip is possible. In that you can add two charts. Now that's the reason what I gave you a solution. Someone asked, can we do that? Yes. If it can be done, I will show that that method is there. You can do it. If any alternative method is there, I'll show that. If none of the methods are available, then I'll tell that no, that is still not supported. So for that question, this is one solution. So now see, the dashboard is no more a simple dashboard, correct? You have hierarchies to drill up and drill down. You have dynamic colors. You have slicers, and now you have tooltips as well. So many features added on a dashboard now. Which part? From start. Which topic? Hmm? So you can change the design of your dashboard by going into, see, you have themes you can set up for your dashboard, but I don't use that. You can explore that here. But Power BI's view black color. No, you don't have that. Okay. I'll create a page. I'll quickly walk you through. And in this page, I added the required charts. I'll go to the canvas formatting. I will enable page information as allow as tooltip. Done. New page, create charts, format, general, allow users tooltip. That's it. This much only you have to write. New page, new chart, canvas formatting, general, then allow users tooltip. Come to the page one, select the chart, go to general, tooltip, enable the tooltip. Now we will see you have to change the size of a canvas itself in the canvas setting. I have decreased the size and I have fit the charts inside that area. Okay. Now let's learn about filters. What do we mean by filters? Slicers we have seen. What do we mean by filters? This is a very nice way to analyze your information. This will open up new ways to analyze the data. Filters on this visual, which I have selected, filters on this page, filters on all pages. Three different types of filtering options are available in Power BI. Either you can go for filters on this visual, that means any filter that you apply in that area, by the name, it will filter only that chart and it will not affect the other charts. And again, as the name says, filter on this page, which charts will get affected? If I apply any filter there, all the charts in that page. Now, if I say filters on all pages, it will affect all the pages. So that's a nice way to analyze the information. Let's see one by one. I'll select the filter on this visual. Now I have year and sales, two fields already added because it's a filter on this visual. The visual has year and sales already added to the place. So I will have default field year and sales. Now I will go inside the year. See, I'm just expanding the year filter, collapse, expand. Now filter type is there, advanced, basic, top n. Let's say basic. Now it will give a list like a slicer. The list is like a slicer now. Now you select whichever year you want. It will affect only that chart. It will affect only that chart. Now people will say, Arif, how can you know that it is affecting only this chart, not the other charts? How can the user will see that? Because this filters will get hidden if you wanted. If you click on this hide, then it will get hidden. Then how will user understand that this entire dashboard have more data than what bar chart has? Hover over the funnel on every chart. See, every chart will have that funnel icon. Every chart will have the funnel icon. Do you see funnel representing anything else on the other chart except the bar chart? So what I can infer from that? Because that filter is affecting only that chart. That's how you can filter your visual. Now people will say that, okay, Arif, I don't want the basic filtering. Okay, I'll clear it. Let's do some advanced filtering. I'll collapse this here. I'll go to sum of sales. And now I want the chart should reflect only the bars where the sales is greater than 3 lakhs. I'll say is greater than or equal to 3 lakhs. Apply filter. What happened? It's 3 lakh or 3 million? 3 million. 10 less. Apply. Now, basic filtering you can do in slicers. But this advanced filtering, can you do that in slicers? No, right? So that means that will give you your answer if someone asks you, tell me the difference between slicer and a filter. Yes or no? Definitely. The next question people would ask me, and if slicers are there, why you are using filters? Because of this nice feature in filters where you can filter your data by conditions also, like advanced filtering. You can do based on the sales also and based on the year also. You can make an advanced filtering and you can say, is